webinar is going to be around Marketplace as a Service. This is basically a new offering from Ingram Micro Cloud for managed service providers and resellers. This is available globally, so no geo restrictions. And today we are presenting to the Australian market. So thank you so much for joining us. My name is Bishoy Armenus. I'm a part of the global product marketing team. We help the company define our positioning and messaging and the go-to-market strategy for our core products and services. And we take care of our platforms, the likes of the cloud marketplace, PSA tools that we offer to partners, integrations we offer to partners, and anything that Ingram Micro provides as in tools or resources for a reseller to help streamline the experience with our cloud marketplace and tools. Now, a couple of things that I want to bring up before we dive in and start explaining what is Marketplace as a Service, which I would refer to as the moment of truth. You know, when you're evaluating your business and trying to see where do you stand as of today, it is really good to kind of understand where you are, right? As much as we all appreciate and enjoy business growing, there has to be this moment where you understand that certain triggers has to mean something, right? And growing from, you know, one phase into another means something. And it's not only about, you know, making more money or increasing revenue. It's more around how am I organizing my resources internally? How am I organizing my investments? Am I putting things in the right place? It's definitely amazing to double your revenue, but at the same time, it brings a lot of, you know, luggage, and it has to be addressed ahead of time, because the moment you realize that I've doubled or tripled my revenue and I'm not ready to kind of absorb that, it becomes a bigger problem, right? So one of the things that we usually start with is transactions, right? If you're running a business, you're focused on SaaS, you're selling a large number of transactions, you have lots of recurring transactions, that's one flag, right? That's one thing to keep track of, because you always want to understand that a large number of transactions means something. Maybe 10 years back when cloud was not a thing and everyone was just selling appliances and devices, maybe handheld devices, personal laptops, one-time transactions were okay, were fine, because refresh cycles for hardware were like every 3 to 5 years. But right now with cloud, one simple license would be invoiced or billed, you know, 12 times a year. So with that increase in recurring transactions, which is definitely a great thing to kind of have a bigger opportunity to interact with customers more, but with the large number of recurring transactions, along with every cloud subscription you sell, that's a flag. That should be telling you something, right? The other thing you should also pay attention to is what is the value or IP you bring to your customers. Have you developed your own IP? Have you developed your own services? Is there a specific product or tool that your team built and you're providing services to your customers using that tool, or you're actually monetizing that tool or IP and selling it to your customers? Maybe it's an industry-based CRM or an ERP, or maybe a niche type of service that you offer to your customers. That's another thing to, you know, keep top of mind. And if the operating model of your business is what we call as BOBO, which is buy on behalf of, if you act on behalf of your customers in terms of net new orders or placing orders or doing change orders or cancellations, if you do all of these things on behalf of your customers, that's a lot of work your people, you know, are investing to make sure that your business is moving and you're actively serving customers. And that's a lot of effort you're putting into serving customers. The fourth trigger you may want to pay attention to is your billing and or invoicing and collection cycles, right? Are you selling products that have a sales cycle of like 9 to 12 months, like SAP B1 type of products that takes so much of time to do scoping, architecting, deployment, or are you focused on selling quick to deploy type of SaaS products that or self-serve type of activation products, which takes minimal amount of time to get the customer up to speed and to get the customer to start using the product, right? And that is one thing you also want to keep top of mind. And having one or more of these triggers has to tell you something. But on top of these four, you should also think of not just the way you operate within customers, but the way you sell. Are you selling through a network of partners? Like, do you have your own sell-through network, smaller sub-resellers or sub-distribution companies that resell your products or your services through your business? Do you sell directly to end customers, or do you sell through your own network? That is one other thing to keep into consideration. If you are selling through a network of partners, if you're operating a sell-through business, that's another trigger. And the last thing is, if you realize that the number of customers that I'm serving is aggressively increasing and the number of subscriptions that I'm serving is increasing, and at some point you feel like my resources are not able to keep up with the amount of work they have to do for operating, running, billing, invoicing, all of these things, and you're starting to lose track of it, then that's a red flag, right? It's definitely a good problem to have when your business is growing that fast. It's an amazing problem to have, right? You're making more money. It's a great indicator, but at the same time, you don't want to end up losing money because you hadn't planned for what's next. And all of these are good triggers to kind of tell you where we need to start building the next phase of your growth as a company, right? Do you want to keep growing the number of recurring transactions? Are you planning to focus more on cloud? Are you planning to develop your own IP, or do you have already your own IP? Do you buy on behalf of customers? You don't let customers touch anything. You do everything on behalf of them, or do you run through your own network of partners? All of these are things you have to pay attention to, because it tells you something. It tells you that there is a different way to do things, a more scalable way and a more productive way for you to reach more customers and manage that business and operate it at scale with the minimal amount of investment and resources to keep the lights on and to be able to scale and sell more. So what we're introducing is something very simple. The name is pretty descriptive, but it tells a lot. Marketplace as a service. The first thing that should come into your mind is cloud marketplace, which is true, right? It's a fair assumption. Your experience with Ingram Micro Cloud is cloud marketplace. That's what you're interfacing. That's what you're dealing with. That's what you use to buy cloud products. This is where you go to when you need help, when you want to call support, when you want to go through all the existing subscriptions and renewals. First thing you should think of is cloud marketplace. And when we say marketplace as a service, the name somehow explains itself. We want to give you the opportunity to have your own marketplace operated as a service. So we deploy it, run it, manage it on your behalf, so that the only thing you need to worry about is being profitable, right? You don't want to worry about managing subscriptions. You don't want to worry about what's happening to my customers. Where's this going? Where is this happening? Where can I find the list of customers? Where are the reports? Is the billing and invoicing happening? Like, all of these operational type of things could be, I wouldn't say rectified, but automated to an extent where you can focus on selling and scale your business to be able to handle that large amount of recurring transactions or double your revenue, and to be able to take it to the next step. So marketplaces. Sorry, Jennifer, go ahead.
Yeah, may I say something? Could you
Sure.
go back to your first slide?
Absolutely.
Yes. So for everyone, just quickly on the call, I'm Jennifer Solomon, and I also work with Bishoy under the same team under Raul, and I am responsible for marketplace as a service globally, as far as leads, helping you present to a partner, answer any questions. So we're very, very grateful to have Bishoy on the call to lead this webinar, but if you have any questions about a specific partner or outside of this, please go ahead and message me. I'll drop my email in the chat as well, just so you have it there. But I wanted to go back to this slide for 1 minute, because this slide right here, the moment of truth slide, is really, before we go very detailed, is that this is why it's so exciting to have this conversation, as an Ingram Micro partner, or as our internal sales team. This slide right here, it's a good way to think about the business and say, okay, am I ready for this? Am I not ready for this? It's a great conversation to have with your Ingram Micro contact or with your partner, because even if they're not, even if you're not ready, this is what will get you thinking about that next step. Because who doesn't like the idea of automating your business, making things run smoother, doubling your revenue? All of us have the dreams of being an Amazon. We're just sleeping at night, money's just coming into the bank account, right? And truthfully, this is the closest you can get to that, marketplace as a service, where we're really helping to grow a business at scale. And that's why we're spending so much time on these webinars all across the globe, because of this one slide. And then what Bishoy was just saying, marketplace as a service. So go ahead, Bishoy, you can take it from there. I just want to make sure, in case anybody needs to contact me, I introduce myself as well.
Sure. Thank you for the quick note, Jennifer. Appreciate it. We're going to go through the model, how the marketplace as a service model works. So we'll get to that point to give partners a brief into what's in it for them and how would they be able to, I wouldn't say configure it, but what's the expectation for them when they get their own marketplace? What can I do after I get my marketplace, right? So I'll skip that part. I'll go to the next one, which is transforming the way you sell. And this slide pretty much summarizes the experience when you have your own marketplace, right? It's as simple as having the capability to design your own catalog in terms of what type of products I do want to put in front of my customers and expose it on my storefront, right? Remember, when you get your own marketplace, you get to also have your own storefront, similar to how Ingram Micro Cloud has CMP, or what we refer to as the cloud marketplace. So you can have your own cloud marketplace and configure your own products, whether you are a platinum partner for, let's say, the Titan, Microsoft, or you have your own vendors that you are contracted with. You get to build your own catalog for the products and the SKUs that you want to list over there. And even, as I just said earlier, if you have your own agreements with third-party vendors, if you are a premium partner for one of these new startups, one of the new ISVs, which has an amazing solution, and you get great rebates and revenue or margins from that vendor, we can help you onboard that vendor and build your own bundles and offer on that marketplace, right? And speaking of bundling, you can build it the way you want. So it could be in the sense of like one-time purchase bundles or monthly bundles or annual bundles. You can combine, let's say, M365 with migration, with a migration offer. You can combine M365 with a data protection offer. You can also, let's say, offer device as a service, like workstation as a service, which is becoming some sort of a trend here in the US, where people can basically buy devices as a subscription or subscribe to a mobile device or a laptop device, where you get all the software installed and configured and managed by you as a technology provider, and your end customers just pay a monthly fee for the device, I would say rental as a service, and the software they're running on top of the device as a bundle, right? So you get to configure any sort of bundles that you want on top of the platform. And in the back end, what the platform is going to do, it's going to help you with similar automation, basically a similar experience to what you have with Cloud Marketplace when it comes to ordering, provisioning subscriptions and licenses directly from vendors and fulfilling to your end customers. And if you are using a backend system that you'd like to still leverage alongside that marketplace, we can still do it. If you have your own backend billing system, we can help you integrate that to your own marketplace. If you're using your own payment gateway, we can help you integrate that into Cloud Marketplace. If you're using your own CRM or customer management system, we can still leverage that and build an integration to help you have a seamless experience across both platforms. But the end result is you want to be able to sell to more customers. You want to be able to reach more customers autonomously. You want to be able to manage your business, whether you're selling directly into customers or you're selling through resellers. No matter how you run and operate your business, we want to make sure that you're capable of doing that. And even if you have multiple offices outside of Australia and you have offices in Europe or in the Americas, you can still have a centralized marketplace that serves both regions with different languages and currencies, and it's a multi-tier based experience. So you can manage different tiers of companies, direct customers, indirect customers, different subscriptions and different currencies and different languages. But the end result is we want to help you be able to sell more faster at scale without being bound to any sort of manual processes when it comes to serving and delivering and activating subscriptions and managing subscriptions for customers. Now, how the model works in a very simple language, right? When you sign up to get your own marketplace, what you're expecting is I'm going to be getting my own storefront, branded storefront, which has my logo, my color theme, my branding, everything that kind of tells the story that this is my company, and you want to expose it to your end customers, right? And along with the way you build your own catalog and define the products and the prices and the offers and the discounts you want to put in front of these customers so that they can buy directly from that marketplace, similar to how you exactly buy products from the Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace. And if you're going to be doing that, you basically have the ability to leverage the existing Ingram Micro Cloud catalog, which means when you have your own marketplace, you don't have to suffer on your own to go and talk to 200 different vendors to build your own catalog. You can basically still leverage the same catalog of products and services that you see on the Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace and have those products and services and offers extended to your own marketplace, as well as not just extend them, but customize them the way that suits your business, or even create more bundles and offers on top of them. The thing is, we give you the opportunity to leverage things as is or build it on your own, define your own offers and prices and bundles, right? And not just sell to end customers. As I was saying earlier, if you have your own sub-reseller or sub-distribution network that basically resells your products or services, you can still manage them. You can still create a sub-reseller account, and your resellers can basically still have their own mini storefronts where they can resell their own products through you, right? And your products could range from simple M365 licenses from Microsoft that you sell directly to end customers. And when you're selling through resellers, you can bring your own IP, right? If you are selling certain type of devices with, let's say, an implementation and an activation service that comes with Dropbox licenses installed, you can still extend these offers to your resellers. But again, the main thing to consider is it's always based on the level of agreement you have with the vendor. So if you have the authorization to sell through partners we can still support that. But if the vendor limits it that you can only sell directly to end customers, you'd still have to abide by that. But the great thing is you have the opportunity to still manage direct sales to end customers or sell anything you want to your reseller or distribution network. Now, on top of all of these things, again, as I said, you're not only limited to the products that you can, leverage from the Ingram Micro Cloud product catalog, but you can bring your own products. It could be handheld devices, it could be laptops, it could be, a subscription or a service that you get from a small ISV or a new startup. It doesn't matter. You can add your own offer and price it the way you want, one-time subscription, or even a pay-as-you-go type of service. Now, what's life after marketplace as a service? What happens when you get to that other side of the river and you have your own marketplace, you're managing all of the subscriptions and renewals and licensing directly from that marketplace? It's a completely different experience right after you go down that path, right? You don't have to manage everything manually the way you used to before, right? And what happens is when you have that level of automation and when customers are buying products and services and licenses in a self-serve fashion, you kind of have control on everything. You no longer have to do that much of paperwork or manual processes to manage subscriptions. You get to manage everything and you have access to all of the existing subscriptions and renewals in one place. And it's basically money in the bank for you, right? When you manage that much of recurring subscriptions or cloud subscriptions from one place, you have visibility on all the upcoming renewals, all the upcoming services, and you get to control what goes out to your customers in terms of products, offers, pricing, discounts. You have 360 view on whatever that goes out and interfaces your customers. If you are running a campaign with Microsoft, for example, to sell Dynamics and business applications, you can build Dynamics 365 bundles and let's say configuration and customization services as a part of the bundle with 25% off for customers before Christmas, right? So you get to manage the whole experience for how customers buy and get invoiced and manage subscriptions directly through you. And you get to manage just one simple catalog. You don't have to, again, talk to 50 vendors to get the authorization to sell to customers through a marketplace or to agree upon a new pricing structure. You just signed up with Ingram Micro Cloud as a partner. Congratulations, you have access to the full catalog of products that we have with more than 200 plus products that we have in the catalog, but it varies from one country to another. So it's just one contract to get access to everything. And the great experience is you still get to talk to Ingram Micro Cloud, right? You're not going to buy a storefront from a commerce company and then buy a billing software from a billing or an accounting company. You get the whole deal. You get the whole marketplace with all the back end or the back office supporting tools to help you with billing, invoicing, reconciliation, subscription management, managing revenue, all of that from the marketplace. And the great experience is we have APIs in place, so you can either pull as much data as you want from the platform through APIs, or you can build an integration with one of your local systems or tools if you have any compliance metrics where some of your data has to sit locally, or billing has to be done, or invoicing has to be done through a specific process. We can still build that integration and work with you closely to make sure that you meet those requirements for your company. Now, the one thing you want to keep in mind is this is not just a custom build storefront, right? This is a fully customizable marketplace that will basically help you grow your business and manage your own end customers and resellers, if you have any, with a smooth experience across both the Ingram Micro Cloud marketplace and your own systems and the marketplace you're going to get. So think of it as one single entity, right? The same experience you have on Cloud Marketplace is going to be exactly the same on your marketplace. So you're familiar with Cloud Marketplace. You're probably going to be getting your own where you can manage it with your own end customers. So the experience should be fairly similar to you, and it shouldn't be surprisingly new. And if you want to build any sort of integration with your local systems and tools, we're happy to do that. And the great part is our team is still here to support you. So if you need help managing a portion of the platform or building something specifically for your business, or if you need extra help, this is not an out-of-the-box solution that you just use it as is, but we have the ability to fully customize it and build things on top of it as needed, right? Now, on top of the marketplace, you're going to be getting your own marketplace as a service. You're still going to be getting access to the Ingram Micro Cloud goodies that you had access to before through the cloud marketplace, but this time it's for your own marketplace. So if you use the Ingram Micro GTM Hub or Go-to-Market Hub, you will still have access to that, right? And if you were managing, if you had your own white label marketplace that you used to leverage to create your own products and sell products to end customers, if you have a reseller network, you can still give them the ability to spin up their own mini marketplaces and resell to end customers directly. And if you are leveraging any of our PSA integrations, you're in a great position to still leverage those integrations with your own marketplace as a service. So think of it as you're getting your own cloud marketplace similar to Ingram Micro Clouds. You're still going to be having access to all of these capabilities and features, and it's a part of the whole package. Now, things you need to keep in mind as you're exploring this option, right? You need to understand that there are basic things that we're going to be helping you with, right? It's not like we're going to give you access to that marketplace and then it's, you know, it's your own problem to solve. It's nothing close to that, right? We're going to help you set it up and make sure that you're up and running so you can leverage the marketplace and actively start selling products to your end customers or through your resellers, right? We're going to help you set up that marketplace, and we're going to provide you a training to understand what to do, how to do it. And the great thing is, as I said earlier, it's the same company, right? We're offering you an extension of what you're doing on the cloud marketplace, but instead of just having an account on the Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace, we're giving you the ability to spin up your own marketplace that we're going to manage and, you know, keep the lights on and keep it running on your behalf. So we will basically help you pull all of your data from the Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace, including your subscriptions, customers, renewals, billing information, and plug that into the Ingram, the marketplace as a service that you're going to be getting, so that you would have a seamless experience across both, and you don't have to worry about the migration or moving that data because it's eventually the same backend, right? You don't have to worry about how it works. And if you need help setting up any of the cloud products or services that we have in our catalog, that is going to come as a part of the package. So you will have access to consume our syndication catalog or catalog of products, so that you can spin up your own service plans and bundles and offers as you want, right? And if you need to onboard any specific product or IP that you have on top of the platform, we can help you do that. But some of the things that will come that we can do, but it's not included when you first sign up, it's that extra mile that'll require extra work. For example, if you have your own online store, or if you have like a commerce store that you use to sell your own products, and you already have a lot of customers and orders there, that's something that we're going to have to explore and understand and migrate for you into that marketplace as a service you're going to get, right? So anything related to external data migration, external customer data that we have to move within the platform, or specific deployment or integration of products or services for certain vendors that you're contracted with, that is additional work that we're going to need to work you with, but it's not included when you first sign up. And getting 24/7 support is also going to be an additional, I would say, cherry on top of the deal that's not included when you first sign up. We provide basic support, but we don't provide 24/7 support for that marketplace. It's an additional paid service. Now, for the pricing overview, I want to make sure that you understand how the pricing model works. So we charge you a one-time implementation fee at the beginning, which covers pretty much the cost of the platform in terms of deployment, configuration, all of that. It's just a one-time fee for activation to help you get started and to help you configure all of these things and put them together so you can start selling to your end customers. The other thing you're going to be charged for is a small fee. It's a really small fee. It's a monthly support fee that you're charged to help you maintain things within the marketplace and keep the lights on. And the third piece is a rev share model where you are charged a really small percent out of total value of the transactions that you have from the platform. And that combined represents the pricing structure for what you're going to be charged for when you leverage this. It's basically a one-time implementation fee. It's not a big number. It just covers the cost of resources to get you activated and to get you started. And then a really small monthly operating fee. And the actual fee is just the rev share. It's basically a small percentage of the total volume of transactions that's going to happen through the platform, and that should be the whole. That should be the pricing structure. Now, what you need to keep in mind in order to get started is, what do I have to go through, right? We first have to make sure that you have the right need. We shared a few things at the beginning in terms of like key triggers or flags that should tell you that this is where you should be heading. Things like you're running a large number of transactions, or you have a large number of recurring transactions, cloud transactions to be specific, or any subscription-based transactions. You're starting to kind of notice a bit of revenue leakage. You have your own sell-through network. You're growing and probably doubling and tripling your cloud services business. You're running a services business and you have your own IP or specialty services that you sell to your own customers. And you basically want to get your own storefront to start managing those subscriptions and orders and fulfillment and invoices all from one place at scale, right? So these are things you need to keep in mind, because that's what's going to make it click, right? If it clicks, you're qualified. We move into the next step. We show you how it works, right? What is seen is what is sold, right? You need to see how it works, and you need to see how it functions, from a different lens. Of course, you know how it works as an Ingram Micro Cloud reseller, but you also want to understand how things work from your own lens as the owner of the platform. In that time, you're not just going to be having an account as a reseller, but you're going to be having your own platform. And then once we understand the requirement and what's the exact use case and how you're going to be using it, we are in a better position to advise on what's the best way for you to leverage that platform, what could be the best way to help you scale that business of yours, and how you can better define the platform to serve your business. And we would help you with scoping out what needs to be done. And once that part is done, we sign the contract, we make sure that you're good to go, and we start the deployment and activation process. So I would say it's a pretty simple sales process. We just want to make sure that the platform is going to help you solve a problem. We identify what's the potential challenge you're going to have in the future, and we help you solve it. And we help you solve it at scale with that marketplace. Now, before I stop sharing my screen, I'm going to have, I think we're going to have the next 15 minutes for Q&A, if there's any. And Jennifer, if you're still here, I'm happy to have you join me to answer those questions. I know you're an expert when it comes to how Marketplace as a Service can help partners do more and do better and serve more customers at ease. So
I do have a question. Oh, a couple. Sorry.
sure, go ahead.
Yes, I have a question from David. So he's just asking, actually, there's not that many on the call. I wonder if, can everyone go off mute? But if not, he's just asking if what kind of technical documentations, particularly around API that we have that we can share, and if we can send him a list. Pardon?
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, and also send a list of all the vendors and products that we have contracted in the marketplace.
Sure. So the API documentation is publicly available. That's not something we are hiding. I can share with you a link to the public API documentation. So it basically has all the scenarios that we cover documented within the API when it comes to like onboarding a new customer, onboarding a new reseller, placing a new order, checking out an order. All of these things are available within the API to understand, and you can basically consume that API if you have the right development people and development tools. You can actually start testing that API like as we're talking right now. So I'm gonna send the API documentation link on chat. And the other question was around a list of vendors and products that we have contracted on Cloud Marketplace. Jennifer, I know that for syndication, there are different lists of vendors and products that we manage because it varies from one country to another. Do you have access to the one for Australia, or do we have one for Australia that we can share with the team? Or I think
actually, the question says, can you send a list of all the vendors and products that you have contracted in the marketplace? And to answer that question, well, I would need to know, like you said, which marketplace. If this is exclusively Australia, then I can see if we have a list that we can share. But basically, marketplace as a service, as you said, as long as we have the product available on our marketplace, our standard, Ingram Micro marketplace, then you can have it in your marketplace as a service as well. In addition to, as Bishoy said, any of your own exclusive services, bundles, things like that you would need. So if it's in fact Australia, I can look for that. Oh yes, it says yes, Australia and New Zealand. It was updated. Okay, David, we can get that list and get it out to you.
All right, sounds perfect. I think the quickest way to kind of tackle that, David, until we get back to you on this, if you go to the Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace for Australia, whatever you find there is basically whatever we can expand. But but we definitely have a longer list of products that we have global agreements for. But I think the quickest thing to do if you're curious to explore what that looks like is to go to the Cloud Marketplace for Australia and go through the list of products and services that we have listed there. This way you can basically find out all the names of the vendors and products that you would like to integrate with until we get back to you on this. There is another question from Wendy, right?
Yes, sure. She's just asking if the invoicing is done out of the marketplace. How do we get this information out to our accounting program?
Good question. So right now we do have out-of-the-box integrations, or what we refer to as native integrations within the platform. Things like the ConnectWise integration, for example, or the Autotask integration that we released a week back on the Cloud Marketplace, right? These are native integrations that you as a partner can configure directly from the user interface on the Cloud Marketplace and just enter your local application credentials that you can link to Cloud Marketplace, and boom, it's connected. So the plan over the next quarter or two is to expand and add more accounting and invoicing software native integrations that you can configure in a couple of steps on the Cloud Marketplace. But until that happens, I would say that the option you have right now is to leverage the integrations that we have, the APIs that we have to pull that invoicing data and have that data sent over to your accounting software. And our team can help you basically leverage the APIs and build that integration with your accounting software if required. Perfect.
Wendy said thanks. I don't see any other questions unless if anyone has any questions, please pop them in the chat. Oh, David has another one. Can you bundle hardware and software?
Ideally, I would say, Jennifer, go ahead.
Right now, you cannot bundle hardware from Ingram Micro with Ingram Micro Cloud at the moment. It is coming. I should have an update fairly shortly, but right now the answer for that is no. But if there is something like a specific bundle, not the entire catalog, if there's something specific, we can look into that. And I will definitely say we should add a slide, Bishoy, that's one of the beautiful things about Marketplace as a Service and one of the challenges when doing a webinar, especially when it's multiple countries or different size partners from lots of different industries. Marketplace as a Service is truly customized for each partner. It is your own marketplace, not just in looks. It's not like white label marketplace where you're truly just white labeling. You're giving us your logo, boom, you're spinning it up, you have your own login, that's about it. This is truly your own marketplace. So every instance of it, it's going to be a little bit different because we're making it for you.
And I want to add one thing on top of what Jennifer just shared. I think to be more specific, Jennifer is referring to purchasing hardware from the Ingram Micro Technology Solutions division, right? So you can buy cloud software from the Ingram Micro Cloud from the Cloud Marketplace, and you can buy hardware and licensing products from Ingram Micro Technology Solutions, or what we refer to as IMTS. So you can buy software and hardware from Ingram Micro, but for this specific instance, for Marketplace as a Service, you cannot bundle both, or you cannot order both directly from the marketplace. Cloud is simple. We can do it because it's, there's no logistics, there's no warehousing. But when it comes to hardware, we do not integrate with IMTS within the cloud marketplace as of today. But here's the thing, since Jennifer said, remember, as Jennifer said, since this is your own marketplace, you can customize anything. So if you want to create a new SKU or a new offer for, let's say, Lenovo laptops with 20% off for Christmas, you can do it. If you want to create a new offer or a new bundle which says Lenovo laptops plus M365 license, you can do it. But the thing is, you're going to have to order and fulfill the hardware yourself because this is not connected in the back end to the IMTS group. So cloud software would do the provisioning directly through our network. You'll get the cloud products provisioned similarly to how you buy it from the Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace, but from your own marketplace this time. But for hardware, you can create the offers, the SKUs, but the fulfillment is going to have to be in the back end. You're going to have to do it manually.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you for summing that up, Bishoy.
I just do have a couple of questions. Just for Anthony, what was the monthly cost in AUD again, Bishoy or Jennifer?
I don't actually know in
AUD.
in
USD.
Yes, but again, so the implementation fee varies, and it's based on the needs of the partner, the extent to which we are customizing, the amount of data, the amount of end customers. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So it's not just straightforward, but we can say that specifically it is very, very affordable. Like it is
nearly impossible. I don't want to say completely impossible, but it is nearly impossible to have your own marketplace as such, like this, with the power to customize everything for less than what we're offering. It is truly very cost effective. And then, so that's the implementation fee. Again, there's a range based on size of the partner and in the integrations and all that necessary. And then a minimal monthly support, very, very minimal. I'm talking about, less than $1,000. I don't know exactly what's US, but I mean AUD, but very, very minimal monthly fee for the support that you'll receive.
Okay. And then, sorry, there was another question, a couple.
Sure.
Can we add our own services to the marketplace invoice? For example, block time for consulting time?
Yep, absolutely.
Yes.
You can create T&M SKUs and have like a T&M, let's say for 1 day worth of consulting services, let's say $1,000, or 1 full week of migration or discovery and assessment services, and charge it per day or per hour or per week. You pick whatever service you want. You pick whatever pricing structure and pricing format, whether it's daily, monthly, recurring. You configure it the way you want, and the customer can buy it directly through your storefront, and it gets provisioned and billed as a regular product, as if it's an M365 license purchase.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. So we will be sharing the recording and the presentation, and then we might just answer those questions, and also distribute those answers with the correct links as well. Is there anything else? There's no other questions that's come through. Is there anything else you want to add? I just want to say thank you to Bishoy and Jennifer for taking the evening out and presenting on this for us as the subject matter experts. Oh, actually, wait, there is one more question.
I saw.
Just for clarity, our end customer logs into our e-commerce store, and we provision through your marketplace?
No.
Jennifer, you can take that. It's okay.
It's more like this is your marketplace. This is your own version of Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace. So your e-commerce store, I don't know, David, exactly what your business is, but your e-commerce store would essentially be no more. You would just have one. It's not like they go to your store and then come, through our marketplace. Does that answer it?
I would add on top of what Jennifer just shared with you, David, is at Ingram Micro Cloud, we have marketplaces for almost every country and every region that we operate in. We run more than 24 different marketplaces. And this is not going to be an extension to one of our marketplaces. This is going to be your own marketplace deployed and running and maintained by us. And you're going to be, you have 360 control on everything: branding, pricing, content, products, billing, invoicing, offers, discounts. You're going to be managing your own cloud marketplace branded for your company. So that's not an extension of one of our marketplaces. You're going to be getting your own marketplaces. And to be more specific and technical, when your customers buy products from that marketplace, the provisioning is going to go straight through us as a distributor, right? Because you're going to have to both ways provision it through a tier 2 indirect distributor. It goes through us, right? So once your customer places the order is sent to us with your NPN on it, and it gets provisioned directly from Microsoft or whatever vendor we're contracted with that has automated provisioning, and then you recognize the revenue. So it's your own marketplace directly connected to provision directly from vendors. And I see you're saying we deal with multiple distributors. I wouldn't say no to that, because that marketplace is supposed to give you flexibility, right? So if you want to consume products through Ingram Micro Cloud, we will happily serve you there, right? But if you have specific agreements with vendors or with technology providers outside of the catalog of products we're going to offer you, you can still get them on board and have your own agreements with them and create whatever products you want, whether it's products that we do have as Ingram or products that we don't have, or your own IP or third-party IP. You can still bring it on top of the platform. This is going to be your own platform, independent of Ingram Micro Cloud. We're just giving you a white label version of our technology that would help you scale your business.
Correct. Yes. And David, if you're wondering a little bit like, oh, that's interesting, why is that the case? The case is that your growth is our growth. I know that seems to be the, running story for any kind of business, but in this case, truly, we are investing our technology and marketplace and giving it to our partners for very minimal cost, because your growth is our growth. We're very invested in this. Even if you have multiple distributors, obviously when you see the numbers, there's still a rev share portion of it, right? So, to answer these kind of specific questions, we'll be happy to have a meeting directly with you to better understand your needs and exactly what type of multiple distributors you have, and we can help answer in more detail. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Awesome.
I know I feel like I wish I could hear your voice, David.
Yeah.
But still very, very excited that we have, so many people on the call. This is, I was happily assigned this responsibility, leading the marketplace as a service offering globally with the team. And, it's like I said, a unique challenge because we're presenting it in mass, but at the same time, it's very specific. So don't worry. Overall, Bishoy covered all the high points. And then from here, we can really get down to the details with you. Mm-hmm. And we have some other people looking for more for meetings and contacts in the chat.
That's awesome. I'm just going to put my email in there and I can coordinate it together.
Okay.
I think that's everything at the moment. So if you can just email me and I can do the connections. But I think that's our time up. So we're 4 minutes early. If we don't have any other questions, I think we just thank everyone for joining today. Thank you to our special guests, Bishoy, Jennifer. You guys are always awesome. Thank you so much for presenting today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the time, and happy to help our partners in Australia anytime. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.